What's good, everybody? It is your girl Nia, the video game her, representing for Planet EJOBN. So before I go ahead and get into this topic, I want you guys to go ahead and smack that subscribe button, hit that notification bell if you are interested in content like this, and make sure you give this a thumbs up so people can see this in their recommended feed. And so now, today's video is going to be about how Arrow went from a phenom to a failure. Now, I know what y'all gonna say. Arrow is not a failure because it got renewed for a season 7. And yes, I understand. There is a demographic of people out there who legitimately appreciate Arrow and watch it every week, but I ain't one of them. Since this is your first time watching me on this channel, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of an insight of who I am as a person and what kind of entertainment I like to consume. So just to put this out there, I'm a really big DC fan. I loved DC growing up. I grew up with things like Batman the animated series, Superman the animated series. I grew up with Young Justice, Justice League, the animated series. So I've got a lot of love for the DC universe as a whole. And when I heard that Arrow, Green Arrow, was getting a TV show, I was really excited and I couldn't wait to watch this show. So Arrow season 1 and 2 came out, and at that point in time, it was absolutely one of not only my favorite TV shows on TV, but one of my favorite superhero TV shows on TV. So the thing that made season 1 and season 2 of Arrow dope for me was a couple of things. So first of all, I thought the story was really dope in the way that they set it up. I love how they showed how Oliver Queen was a playboy billionaire who was very arrogant, stuck up, didn't really have like common sense, if that makes sense, and how he became stranded on an island called Leon U. Now, when he was stranded on this island, he became a straight up savage. And it was interesting seeing and getting those flashbacks on just exactly how he went from this playboy billionaire who was aloof to the world and became hell-bent on vigilantism and vengeance. Also, one of the most interesting things about the way that he dealt justice in his city was the fact that he was not fighting street thugs. Like, he was fighting against white-collar crime. In my opinion, I thought that was interesting and fresh and different. It was something that a lot of other superhero TV shows were not doing at that time. And it really showed how a lot of white-collar criminals don't really get caught up on the nonsense because of either their status, their wealth, or because they have a good standing in public opinion. And in regard to the flashbacks about Oliver on Leon U, we got some really awesome character moments with Slade Wilson, aka Deathstroke. It was just so interesting seeing who he was as a man and then seeing him to become a villain, because I know that we absolutely loved Deathstroke even when he was being bad. I know that I did for sure. Another good part of season 1 and season 2 was the way that they introduced character John Diggle. And in my opinion, John Diggle was a great supporting character because he was a great complement to Oliver and his solitary and hardened nature. I just love to see their friendship developed and how they kind of developed this brotherly relationship on the show. They also introduced Felicity, who's a character that I absolutely loved at that time. Of course, as a fellow nerdy girl, something about her character really resonated with me. She was useful, she was smart, she was witty, and even though her part of the team didn't come from brute force or fighting her way through bad guys, I loved how she used her brains to keep the team together. And together, they were essentially a well-oiled machine. That was dope. Now, here's where Arrow kind of lost me. So after season 1 and season 2, and y'all know I'm gonna say it, but I have to say it because it's true, they really did hit us hard with Oliver and Felicity's relationship. So the fact that Oliver and Felicity started dating wasn't really the problem with me. It's the way that the Arrow writers completely changed her character in the midst of it. And I'm talking about drastic. Like, her change and characterization was like a complete 180. In my opinion, Felicity went from this quirky, smart, hilarious character to this whiny girl who let her emotions dictate the way that she ran the team. Really? No. And I understand. On TV shows, we want characters that are multi-dimensional. Felicity doesn't always have to be the comedic relief. But one thing that I can say about Arrow, and I feel like a lot of CW shows in general, is the way that they depict women. And no, I'm not trying to make this one of those videos, but the way that the CW writes women is pretty egregious. Like, whenever women become a part of a relationship in the CW universe, they always change the characters to be one note and whiny whiny and crying all the time. I don't understand why they do this, but it's something that they've done with Iris West on The Flash. It's something they've done with, of course, Felicity and a lot of other women on their other non-DCTV shows. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all do it too much. Another thing that kind of lost me on the show was the de-emphasis on Oliver's character. At one point in time, I feel like they were trying way too hard to develop the supporting cast and not focusing enough on Oliver and his plight. At some point in time, I literally forgot that this show was supposed to be about Green Arrow. So another thing that I feel like they kind of did poorly was they tried to de-Batman Oliver. So to those of you guys who are not that familiar with Green Arrow, he is definitely not like who Green Arrow is on the TV show. Green Arrow as a character is a lot more lighthearted than what we've seen on the show. He's not a killer. He's really not that savage. And while I understand that the writers did want him to take a more lighthearted approach to be more accurate to the comic book version, the way that they went about it was wrong. Instead of giving Oliver the proper character development to make him more of a lighthearted character, they centered his lightheartedness solely around his relationships with Felicity. Like, there was no true arc of him rediscovering himself and discovering a new system of morality. It just kind of became a back and forth between, oh well, what would Felicity think? It was cringy and it was corny. So I know I just wrecked the mess out of Arrow, and I don't apologize for it because it's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am a prior fan of the show, and I do feel a little bit salty because of the directions that they've taken with the show. But if you watch Arrow, I'm not gonna tell you not to watch Arrow. These are just my reasons for why I just can no longer stomach the show. Now, I will say this. Season 5 did try to rectify a lot of the issues that were brought about in seasons 3 and 4. And for the most part, they succeeded. Even the writing in season 5 was damn near on par with season 2. Prometheus was that guy, and he was probably the best villain that we've had since Deathstroke. Season 6 so far has pretty much been hit or miss for me, and I'm not gonna lie, after Felicity and Oliver got married, I stopped watching. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. It's not even really the fact that they got married, it's the fact that they encroached on Iris and Barry's wedding and then got married at their wedding. Like, they are literally the most annoying couple on TV right now. Anyways, my opinions don't matter. Arrow is getting a season 7. Let's hope that season 7 is where they actually get their stuff together. I don't know, man. We're gonna see. At this point, it kind of is what it is. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Again, make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you would like to be notified about more videos like this. Make sure you hit that thumbs up so it can show up in everybody's recommended feeds and get more people on the channel. All of Planet EJOBN's social links are in the description below, so make sure you guys go ahead and check that out. We have a super active and thriving Facebook group right now where there's so many other nerds like you who are talking about TV, movies, anime, comics, you name it, every single day. So make sure you guys join up. Make sure you also follow us on Twitter and Instagram. And we also have a Discord channel. So check all of those out, guys. And I'll see you next time. Peace out.